Hey, what's up, Cruella and Gary V? My name's Stephen Gold. There's so many good producers out there right now, getting released on labels, getting uploads on Sheepy and Proximity, all these channels, getting blog coverage, even charting on Hype Machine. What separates the artists that get all this promotion and just get a little bit of royalties here and there, and the artists that actually get to make a living off of music?
I'd say anyone who isn't afraid to experiment. And I always appreciate producers when I hear them who step outside a certain BPM or even genre. I always love risk-taking mentality, and for me, those are the people that I'll remember for years and years. And just to name a few, like Skrillex, we're big fans of Skrillex, of course. Everything that like Jack U does is really cool. Pegboard Nerds, we're huge fans of them. And who else? I'd say Discord. We love what they do as far as experimentation.
I also think that musicians who are able to create a song in our EDM world is amazing, because you get so used to the build up, then the drop, and the breakdown, and the build and the drop, and it just seems so contrived after a while. But you get people like Calvin Harris who make real songs that embody so much more than just the build and the drop, and I think that is incredible.
I think my answer is going to be slightly more in the context of how you guys know that I roll, which is I think what separates it is the market decides. You know, this whole notion that like there's so much great music. I mean, I think there probably is, and I think some of the great music of all time was never heard because the market decided it wasn't great. Meaning, who gets to decide what is great? And I always find that to be super fascinating. Is it an executive who's got an ear? Like, is it Clive Davis through the years? Like, absolutely not. It's the end market. And so a lot of you email me and say, so I've been doing a daily vlog called Askgaryvee, and a lot of music has been given to D-Rock for us, and we use a lot of it. And we're getting hundreds of emails now because they're getting a lot of exposure from the people that are watching the YouTube show, and it's helping them. So a lot of people want their music on the show, and everybody writes the same thing, which is, this is great. My stuff is great. Everybody tells me it's great. And the answer is, I think it's some level, like, the market gets to decide. Like, everybody wants to think they're great. It's almost like, I always think about it as the way, like, American Idol, when it first came out, like, those people that, in that first show of every season, where they really, truly, like, not the people that were, like, just trying to get on TV later, but those first 2 or 3 seasons where you would just genuinely see somebody who literally thought they were great. Right? Who literally thought they were great. And in that environment, judges got to decide if they moved on. I think what's so fascinating about today's music marketplace and the business marketplace is, with the internet being the true middleman, whether you go with SoundCloud or blogs pick you up, or you put out YouTube stuff or Vimeo or whatever you do, I think what separates, you know, the people that make a living or not is the paying customer. That enough people decide you are great that it allows you to do it for a living.
I actually think the ones that do it for hobby versus a living, it's quite simply 10,000 hours. I mean, when you guys started, it was very different than what it was 4 or 5 years later, and you guys continue to get better. And
do you think that Malcolm Gladwell like put in the work? But do you really think that? Do you, like, for example,
I do.
Do you think if I put in 10,000 hours of EDM skills that I could be great at EDM?
So,
because I can tell you right now, I can't.
So
I genuinely think that talent has been stripped out of the equation.
Well, is it an artist or is it a producer?
Both, because I can tell you right now that is just not in me. Whereas
Authenticity has to be a part of it, and that's not authentic to you.
Well, that's right. But I do think the 10,000 hour thing is very fascinating. I do think, and I talk about hustle and hard work a lot. I just am surprised that talent is starting to get scripted out of the equation. Like, to be a musician, like you guys are talented. Like, that's a thing.
But I have to interject here.
Please,
I don't think that. First of all, I don't think that I'm up to par with certain artists that I look up to. Like, we're going to talk about like Adele's vocals.
Yes,
I don't think I was born a prodigy.
But you don't need to be the #1 singer in the world to have success.
But I don't think I was born with this like.
Do you think you have a better voice than the average 100 people out there?
No,
okay.
I don't.
Yes.
The reason why I say that is because I think there's this mentality today where people think artists are on this unattainable pedestal. But if you go back to like the beginning of human civilization, everyone was sitting in a circle, banging on some drums and singing all together. It wasn't this like separate outside.
I think that everybody can sing. I just don't think everybody wants to pay everybody to hear them sing.
Today, I think it's different. I think it's vision, it's your voice, it's your songwriting, it's how you curate your music videos.
The issue with your romantic point of view right now is it's not being executed in reality. There are hundreds of millions of people that want to do what there's tens of millions of Americans that want to do what you're doing right now. Like, and more interestingly, and you guys know this, you're in the scene, it's much what's happening in entrepreneurship, it's what's happening in athletics. Like, there are plenty of people that have put in lots and lots of hours, especially if they come from affluence where their parents have allowed them to be able to go to every fucking lesson 47,000 times. Like, sometimes talent has to be part of the equation.
And hunger too, though. Because if you're saying those people are given everything,
Sure,
they
I
don't
mean,
have
the work
hunger.
ethic is a big variable.